I breathe. I breathe. I breathe in your loving touch. I feel. I feel. I feel your love's enough. I feel. Quintessential dimensions of humanity. 1. Our capacity to destroy one another is matched by our capacity to heal one another. 2. Language helps us connect and find common ground. 3. We are able to regulate our bodies, our own physiological tendencies. 4. We have the ability to create the environment for both children and adults to feel safe. I blame everything on grief, or at least my inability to identify what grief feels like. My capacity for love, infinite. Love was spoken about in many shows, sitcoms, movies, family, but I don't recall seeing grief, really. I don't remember watching TV and being able to identify a grieving person. In my psychology courses, we hear the 5 stages of grief. And even that did not feel right. Grief does not end now as I write this. I am grieving the woman I once was, trying to make sense of why I was so full of emptiness. This is when I realize that suffering is as much of a philosopher as love. The amount of energy I've had to put into protecting my heart when people that I love was around was exhausting. Even now, I stuttered on my words because I miswrote what I wanted to say. There's a metaphor in that somewhere. Tripping up in life because you've been living a life that's not yours. Experiencing trials and tribulations over and over because God isn't trying to contact you. In my life, God has contacted me the most through my loving relationships and my money. I've said so many prayers to remove the spirit of debt and stagnancy in my life and my finances. And I'm constantly met with the spirit of debt will leave once you decide to be yourself, walk in your purpose. And so I've spent the last really 5 years learning how to be in my purpose, just to find out that my purpose was always just to experience authentically, and then to gain, to rest, to integrate, and then bring that spirit of naivety back. Been doing it so much that it almost feels like second nature. But I'm now at a standstill again of abundance. I look around and every single moment of my life feels beautiful. The only thing that I feel is missing is that I want to help people with more than just my being, with more than my stillness. I want to help people be able to find stillness within themselves. Mostly men, I mostly want to help men. I feel like the women have really got it handled, at least the ones that I'm around. I am damaged, not fragile. Sometimes I feel my late mother's suffering. Or at least this is the conclusion I've come to explain the depths of my pain body. A vast space within myself that's been filled with years of trauma and neglect. That is not to say that the years had no joy. That is more to say that my joy has been fleeting, abundant yet unsustainable, worse than temporary, never truly felt. I slowly fall in love with suffering, with temporary joys. A slumdog millionaire of radical intervention. Always a child of God, but never a mother of self. Those that wonder of my strength should be aware that my strength is only there because of my generational pain body. That my love is full of duality. That the realness of my heart is often conditional. I try to hold on to love often, but I'm learning to let go of love in order to find independence, to liberate my heart from solitude. Just to realize that doing all this made me find love in everything. The cycle continues once you start paying attention to the beginning of where love was gone, or where you forced love to be. Humans conditioned to believe that our uniqueness is a part of our faults. But the cycle shows that we can be everything. Quite frankly, the cycle shows that we are everything, always, all the time. Walking contradictions. We are confident, we are shy, we are love, we are pain. And all parts of you and me. And those that numb simply feel the magnitude of existence, never giving a place to rest their sorrow. And sorrow is thick, coating the road that was paved through internal hell. There are no shoulders to cry on once you are following the light of the end of the tunnel, because you are being carried by God. This journey is restless at times, but if it's done right, you will see that there is never really a light. It was only a mirror reflecting the abundance of your willpower. Arriving at your next destination, hoping to be enlightened, not knowing that you are enlightenment. This is the journey of self. This is why I write about my suffering with hope in my heart. To some, this may seem like a futile attempt to conquer life. To others, a plea to be heard. But I actually despise begging. I will not make a deal with the devil within me to be heard by those dedicated to misinterpreting my truth. I'm radicalized in the understanding of love. It's not militant, but it is all-knowing. Those that know nothing are at war with the truth. Those that know everything recognize love, surrendering to what love offers, a wounded heart. All-knowing, learning to write with hope in their heart. I used to really hate my anxiety. I see now that my anxiety is the truth. Then I remove myself from the truth. And I step and I step. And I experience, I embody, I integrate. And then once again I become naive. But not naive to knowledge. Naive to the experience of what knowledge is supposed to give me. Every moment filled with love and contentment. The rambling words of a conduit of love. I'm feeling overstimulated as I did all of that because half of it was read, half of it was made up. Because when I'm writing, sometimes I just get all jumbled up and I have so much to say and I can't write fast enough and then my hand starts cramping. There's a metaphor in that somewhere. Well, that's really all. That is all I have to say. Love you.